So I was in the stage where I was already making money and where I already had projects where I was already doing pretty well with the skill set. We started as a newsletter in July this year, and we have 17K subscribers at that. You to start freelancing, you need to basically.
Hi, Shruti. Thanks for being a part of this podcast. I'm really excited to have you here.
I mean, it's pleasure to be here.
Yeah, actually, there were a lot of suggestions in my previous video that I do more such episodes with freelancers, and that's when I realized that Shruti will be a perfect fit because when I got to know that you do other things apart from programming, such as content creation, and we'll go into that detail. I don't want to spoil it now. So, and that's when I know that you will be a good choice here for my next episode, and you'll have a lot of great insights to share. So, okay, let's start with the introduction about yourself and basically what you do and a brief introduction about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Shruti. I am a full stack developer, a designer, and a content creator. A very rare skill set someone has. And I am based out of Chhattisgarh, but I mostly stay and mostly live in Bangalore. I've been doing this from more than 3 years in the ecosystem, and it's been quite a journey. I've worked with a lot of li- freelancer teams and individuals, companies, brands, and also internationally. I've worked as a contractor, like independent contractor with the companies. So that's been quite a journey. I've also experienced what working full time is, and have quit that because I didn't wanted that corporate culture. It wasn't remote. So yeah, I have quite a lot of interest in traveling as well. So I just wanted some flexibility, and yeah, that's been a journey. I would be really happy to share all of it through this podcast.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be asking a lot of questions. Okay, so
Yeah.
first let's talk about what got you interested about coding. Like every person has this background that they will have a specific reason as to why they started coding. But what's yours?
Yeah. Okay, so when lockdown started in 2020, I was in 11th standard. I was 15, and I I was just a meticulous student in school, a kind of, you call it, topper. But then when that started, there was one of my cousin at home who was a software engineer at TCS, and I just asked him what to do because I was just passing my time at home, and I don't like to waste my time like that. So I just started with coding as he suggested, and started with C language, and all that. So with that, it was quite boring at first because I thought it includes all the maths and all, which is which is a myth that most of the people has, that you need mathematics, you need to be good at that, but that's not actually true. And then I started with HTML, CSS, all the web development kind of things, and things really got interesting after that because I was actually seeing what I was building. I was able to build projects like new products. I was able to ideate on something because I was actually seeing what's happening. So that's how I just got interested in coding, and that wasn't expected that it would become a profession, but it just happened.
Yeah, that's actually a very
Yeah.
detailed story. I really loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apart from coding, I believe that you also do content creation, and yeah, I think you recently started it, and you somehow managed to make it a big, big platform now. And please share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I started to code in May of 2020 and got into LinkedIn in September. So what happened was I got into a group, like uh, a group in that was named as 100 Young Minds, and in that I had a lot of people. I shared what I was doing and everything, and then someone suggested me to post my work on LinkedIn and just post about some things, create a profile, and do that. So I started doing that. I had some time, so I did that for a long time. I was straight consistent on LinkedIn for 1 year, and I didn't knew that this is what is called content creation, and this is what is called documenting your journey. But I was just doing it for the sake of doing it because I really used to like it. At first, I there was no no interaction in my post. There was no likes, no comments, nothing. But sooner people got much interested, and then through that I got a lot of opportunities as well. So I guess that was a great start to content creation, and right now it's also like pretty much going so well. I've been inactive on all the platforms for a year after that, but then I got back this year again. So it's going pretty well on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm very much active on three of these.
Yeah, actually, congratulations on your followers on all these platforms. I think you gained a massive
Yeah.
following in a very short span of time, and we'll be
Yeah.
discussing more that. So, Shruti, I think you are now doing something called distance learning. I think I'm very confused about it, and a lot of people are too. So, could you just give a
Mm.
short introduction, or you can go as detailed as possible to explain these concepts?
Sure. Okay, so when I was in 12th standard, I had this a lot of conversations with people on Twitter, and they were like, how they are like in college. It's not that much, and you have to study. The syllabus is like outdated and all that stuff. So I was hearing all of this, and I was like, anyways need to upskill even after I do the college thing, and I am already making, and I have already like reached that stage where I am upskilled because I was a Monster developer in like that way. So I was thinking to take distance education somewhere. I researched a lot of colleges. There was University of London, and there was IU, in which I'm enrolled in. So these two are like really great with exposures and everything. So I picked the second one, which is IU Germany. It's International University of Applied Sciences. I took BSc Computer Science in that, and there are like it's very flexible. Kind of you have full time and part time thing to choose. Full time means you have like 4 years. Full time means you have 3 years to complete that. Part time means you have 4 years to complete that. I took the part time thing. That means I have 4 years, and it's gonna be the first year end at in January. So like it's almost 1 year, and then you have exams which are like you can schedule it yourself. It's all self taught. You don't have like you do have mentors and group chats and everything, but you don't have live classes and all that. So it's pretty flexible. Plus, you have your you can get your degree after completing that, or like delivered to your homes. That's it. So it was flexible for me, but like it depends on a person if he should take the distance learning or not. It depends on this on where on what stage you are. So I was in the stage where I was already making money, and where I already had projects, where I was already doing pretty well with the skill set, even though I've very much upskilled myself now. But and that's why I took the distance learning thing. And it depends if you have like just passed your 12th and you are starting to learn, then I don't think I would recommend distance learning, because like I think college would be better, but I'm not sure. It just depends on your situation. Yeah.
That's that's very interesting actually. So, okay, in terms of value, like compared to a normal education, normal university degree, so how is it any different from that? Is it better
Hmm.
to go for distance education, or is it just same as a normal university?
Uh, basically the syllabus is all mostly same as a university. You just get more flexibility and more time. And I guess in so basically I went for a speaker panel a few days back in IIT Delhi. So there when I talked to the people, and I was just telling them to do this and to upskill yourself, and don't depend on college what they are teaching you, because it's just C++ and Java, and not further than that. You eventually need to upskill yourself. So they were telling me that college has got them up a lot. They have too many assignments. They don't have time to work on their skills and all those things. So I was feeling like uh, that happens with college when you do it offline, especially in India. You have a lot of burden on you, and when you do it like yourself, and you self teach yourself on YouTube and upskill, and you build projects that actually people are looking for. So I guess that's like more interesting. So I think distance learning is better in that way.
Okay. Okay, I understand. I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about your freelancing career. I think you have a very successful one now. So you have been doing it for a lot of years, and you have been helping people out with your careers as well. So could you just give a rough overview of your journey?
Okay, fine. So when I started LinkedIn, I got my first client from LinkedIn only. So I used to post about, I did HTML, CSS, and JavaScript thing. I was learning React when I started LinkedIn. So I used to post about the topics and concepts that I've learned in React and all of those things. And that's how I got my first client. So it was a real estate company kind of thing. And the person was from Noida, and he gave me like web pages to build. It was simple HTML, CSS because I didn't know any further than that. So I used HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I coded like 11 pages, something like that, and I got 11K for the first freelance project. And then it started to interest me more because I wanted to do more projects, more big ones, and not just HTML, CSS. I wanted to do something else as well. So we learned Mon stack then. I started to learn MongoDB, Express, React, and like the full stack development that we say. So I did that, and then I got a project from Australia. It was a badminton court. So you have like a badminton court where people can book the court on the available timings, and there was an admin panel that admin can manage the court and everything. So I did that in Monstack. It took me 3 months to finish the project because I wasn't like well versed with Monstack, but that really taught me of how to build real world projects. So there was like first real world full stack project that I was building. So that happened like that, and then I got one project from Denmark about a spiritual community. It was, and she wanted to build a community like a social media thing and all that. So I built that with more one stack only. It took me 6 months. There were a lot of features. So I built that, and it was pretty interesting again. And then I worked with a fitness company from Indore for their projects from scratch. Like they had nothing. I built their product from scratch. Like it was holistic fitness. You have admin panel, you have the instructor panel, and then you have a user panel and all that. So there were three parts of the project. So that's how like the projects went on going and going, and then I worked as a contractor for a company based out of Dubai. So there has been a lot of hurdles as well in the between of working with them, like chasing deadlines and everything else. But it's been quite a journey, like a rough overview of my freelancing journey.
Actually, it doesn't look like a rough overview. It's like a very detailed one. But anyway, I just wanted to ask you. You mentioned that you had a lot of clients from various places. One from Noida, one from outside of India. But how are you able to manage getting clients?
Mhm.
Like it's like anyone who starts now, anyone who gets into freelancing, it's just very hard to uh, start reach a certain limit. It's very hard to cross a certain limit. So, what would you suggest them to?
Mhm. Okay, so first thing, like as a freelancer, if you are into any skill, you to start freelancing, you need to basically do it, think long term, and not just like go to the platforms Fiverr and Upwork, build your profile, and then you won't have any patience, yeah, and you won't get any. If you won't get any clients, you'll quit and you'll close the platform. So if you wanna go like really long term, uh, you have to be showing up yourself on the platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter. I did that from the very start, and it has like really given me a lot. So I think that's the only way to go ahead if you want opportunities and more. So everything that I've gotten has been from LinkedIn and Twitter. And also there is one more thing in here is that if you know about Facebook groups, so Facebook groups are there for freelancers and everything. But I think I explored Facebook groups at the very start. I didn't close any from there, but I think that's also the best way to go ahead with freelancing, like in the start only, and then you create the content and everything. So yeah, that just makes things very simple. And in terms of content, you have to just document what you're doing. Nothing. like there's doesn't need to be nothing special. It just has to be what you're doing. It just has to be documenting your stuff. I made this, I did this, I worked for this person. Yeah. um yeah, I learned this concept or something like that, and how this thing fascinated me and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. So since you mentioned the social media platforms play a very important role in getting more clients and sharing, I mean, just documenting yourself will just open up more opportunities. But and also I got
Yeah.
to know something that Twitter is much better than LinkedIn the recent times in terms of job opportunities. Usually it used to be LinkedIn, everyone will be asking for opportunities in LinkedIn, but now it's totally Twitter. But like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's mostly true because on LinkedIn you have business professionals more, and on Twitter the audience is casual and more Web3 kind of audience there is on Twitter, and on LinkedIn it's basically like for I would not like mention a particular industry, but I think it's mostly for sales people and all that. But for developers as well, it's pretty good. I was inactive on LinkedIn for 1 year, but then I got active again. So it's going pretty good. Basically, you need to provide your valuable insights, and most of the things, most of the events happening, and most of the things that cool things happening are not on LinkedIn, are on Twitter. You will get to know about events and everything on Twitter, and on LinkedIn, you won't be able to like find that. So I like to share things that I learned from the events and everything on LinkedIn so that more people get to know about that, because there is not so much people on that platform. But I think it's really good for professional and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, I think what I understood basically, if any platform you choose, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, you just have to document yourself. The
Yeah.
more and more you document yourself, put yourself out there. Just show what are the projects you're working on and what are the progress you are making so far. That will just
Yeah.
invite more people to come reach out to you, right? So this is actually
Exactly.
a very good idea. There is now new concept called hashtag build in public in Twitter. A lot of people are doing
Exactly.
nowadays, the 100 days of code and all these things. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are after like 50 days of
Hmm.
code, a lot of people just made it tweets saying that
Yeah.
I got a job offer here, I got an internship, and
Yeah.
it's just so it feels so great to see that.
Mhm.
So I
That's
think
just
that's
because like when you put yourself out there and then recruiters actually see what you're doing, and rather than you telling them what you're doing, because like proof of work is something we call it, because you have a proof that you worked. So I guess a proof of work matters a lot in this era.
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. That's very
Yeah.
true. That's very true. Okay. So now let's get into your startup product idea. So you are now working as a startup. So far, first let me just mention that you are now a freelancer. You're also a content creator, and you're also a student. Now there is another thing that you are now working on your own startup. So could you just give a brief description about what's the product that you're working?
Okay. So currently I'm working on Coin Basics. It's with one of my friend. It's basically your go-to source for anything in Web3. So there are many people right now who are like, including me. It's like you don't know much about Web3. I'm still exploring, and a lot of people take much time to explore this space because it's different from like it's very different, and there are a lot of resources, a lot of things coming up, and you get overwhelmed by all of that. So you need like a one source where you can go and like do everything. So basically, we are planning to have the uh, academy kind of stuff. We planning to do all the social, like all the socials and share valuable insights. So currently, we have a newsletter. We started as a newsletter in July this year, and we have 17K subscribers at that, and we are like planning to scale that into all socials on Instagram, on Twitter, and everything,
Just
and like
hold on, 1 second, 1 second. I think you say you started your newsletter July, and within few months you got 17K followers. Like that's way too
yeah.
much, right? How did you manage to do that?
Yes, so the person that I'm working with, he is he's into Web3 marketing and everything, all that stuff. So he does that. He writes newsletters very very nicely. So he basically did that newsletter thing, and then I helped him with the tech side of things, like the website that we have right now. So if you go to coinbasics.xyz, it's the website we have there that I made. There's going to be the whole platform inside with the crypto analytics tool and everything. So basically, he's well versed with the marketing side of things, with the crypto news side of things, and I'm well versed with the tech side of things. So we both are collaborating on building a product where we both can provide our insights. I'll provide insights on my tech thing, on the Web3 tech as well, and he'll provide insights on the crypto investing and as a founder kind of things. So yeah, that's how just we are building this.
That's great. That's amazing. That's amazing. So speaking of Web3, like since you started a startup product now, which is based on Web3, a lot of people are now moving into that industry due to certain reasons, such as the more job opportunities, and especially the Rust
Yeah.
language is getting more popularity these days. So could you just give us what's the main reason for that? Like apart from regular full
Yeah.
stack development, why would one prefer a Web3 development?
Okay, so basically, website development is more secure and more decentralized. More of the companies are looking to, like, not a lot of companies yet are looking to switch to Web3, but I think most of the companies are looking to switch it here. And there has been a lot of products built in Web3 that very less people know about, but it's really cool. So there is, I today created an account on Vapcast, which is basically a social media, decentralized social platform, and which is pretty cool. So like I just like to explore these Web3 tech and all that. And currently there was a bear market going on, and it is still going on. But it's saying that in March 2024 it's gonna be it's gonna be a bull market again. So there will be a lot of products. There will be a lot of recruitments in Web3. There will be a lot of demand for good Web3 developers. So I'm also just trying to upskill myself in Web3 so that I could like do much better in the upcoming market. So I think it's about the popularity of AI, crypto, like the blockchain thing, and mostly Rust is really cool language in terms to learn in 2024, because Rust is pretty much hard. I've also tried it. Rust is a bit hard, and when and like people are looking for it, there is less supply of good Rust developers, and that's gonna go like really higher. So I think JavaScript, Python, and Rust, these three languages are gonna be like the top ones in the next upcoming years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So when you're speaking of your product, your startup product, so when are you planning to release it?
Yes, so currently we just have the website and the platform right now, and the newsletter Substack. On Substack we have that, but we are like doing our content thing first before going like more into the platform. We are doing the Instagram and Twitter content for the next month, and then for next couple of months in Jan and Feb, we are planning to build a valuable product with Academy and cohorts. Not just the another Web3 Academy, but we want to have something like the people who can understand like a very basic thing that most of the people don't know, and uh, in a very interactive manner. So we have different plans for that. So but like by the end of the fab we'll have a good valuable product.
So like all the best for your startup product. I hope it will be a massive
Thank you.
success, and I'm very eager to see
Yeah.
that as well. And
Sure.
now, okay, since you mentioned now there are a lot of things you're doing these days. Like there are four actually. So far we've covered four things, and I know that there is one more thing which is your fitness. So could you just share
Okay.
your like what got you interested about in fitness?
Okay, so last year in October, I guess I started to go to gym. Like it wasn't a need. It was just a want that I want to try something. I want to try fitness once. It was
Mhm.
just a want that I want to do, but I wasn't actually serious at first. For a couple of
So
months, I was like,
actually, usually it will be the opposite, right? Most people they don't want it, but it will be needed for them. and yours is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then I understood why I needed it because it has transformed me a lot. So, it in the first couple of months, I wasn't much serious about that. But since the start of this year in January, I had my personal trainer, and I was like, "Hey, I want to hit some goals with that." So I started with that, and I noticed some changes in myself and like how and in my health, in my diet. It's not just about uh, being slim, or it's just not just about like that. It's about being fit. Like you look fit, you look different, even though you are slim, but you look different when you like do some workouts and all. And I was like working most of the time, so on laptop sitting at one place, that's not good for health. So it's better to move a little bit. So yeah, that's how I started, and it's been almost 11 months now.
So again, all the best for your fitness journey as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, so since we all know now that you have a very hectic schedule, I would really love to know what your usual daily routine looks like.
Okay. So pretty much most of the days are hectic, but some days are chill as well, and I do take some breaks. So basically, it starts very late in the morning because I am like a night person because I like to work during the nights, and I work like till 3-4 a.m. in the night, and then in the morning I start at like 12 p.m. And then I'll mostly work the whole day, and in between I chill, like maybe like play something or something like that. So I do that, and every day at 8, I have my fitness, I have my workout thing. So I have a personal trainer, and she helps me with doing workouts, even though I'm not at the gym or if I'm not at home or anything. Do workouts consistently every day. So that's like going pretty well. And yeah, like most of the days are like this, but some days are like no work at all and just like going out or something like that or traveling. I like to travel a lot, so I do that as well.
That's actually very interesting and more struggling routine, I think. Okay.
Mhm.
So lastly, I just want to ask one last question, which is, what is your one piece of advice that you would give to someone who wants to learn to code?
Okay. So if you want to learn to code, the one thing I would say is do not follow tutorials because I made that mistake before. I used to watch a lot of tutorials. I used to build projects watching that, and then I used to share that, okay, I built this. But that's a wrong way to go because eventually you build the project, but at the end, if you work on a real life project and a real life task you got from somewhere, then you won't be able to finish that task because you don't know how to do that. And before that, you just did that tutorial thing. So I think it's really better to it's good to follow like do the tutorials and everything, but after that you have to iterate on it yourself. Like you have a product and someone taught you authentication, suppose they taught you how to do email and password authentication, but then you have to put yourself out there, and you have to also like do Google authentication or maybe try different APIs yourself. So like just doing and iterating on your product really helps with practice. So I think that's the one thing. And the second thing is like you don't really have to know every other language out there because the chase to know everything can be exhausting. You have uh, like if you are into web side of things, you have learned the MERN stack, and like pick one thing to go with, pick one stack to go with, and like just be really good at that so that like rare it would be very rare to replace you. But if you will like try to know everything, you won't be able to do that. Keep upskilling whenever you need to, whenever you see there's the right time to, but like just be good at what you do. That's the one thing I'd say.
That's really great. That's really great. So actually, I have one follow-up question, which I just remembered now. Like since programming is a very demanding career. A lot of people struggle to keep up with their consistency and motivation. And since there are a lot of exceptions as well, but most of the people who are starting out, especially in their initial stage, it's very hard to keep pushing themselves to code, especially when there's a lot of errors, when they don't understand what's going on, and like it's very hard to read through documentations to understand stuff. So what would you think? What would you suggest them do in the initial stage to keep on coding every day?
Okay. So basically, you can take a 1 day or 2 day of break if you're coding. That's the one thing. And secondly, I have this experience. And last week only, I was doing a project, and there was something that was stuck at for 2 days, and I was at the end. I was like feeling like I won't ship that this weekend. Let it be and let it go like that. But once you like go out and like take a bit of rest out of the laptop, you will get the answer automatically. That happens most of the time with all the developers you ask. So you just have to like take yourself out of that code for a while, and then understand the process behind it, and then you will eventually get the solution. So that's like the one thing that you could do to motivate. And also like being consistent is like it's very hard, but it's very hard also when no one is there clapping for you, and when no one is there like cheering you up. But you have to be your own, like you have to be your own cheerleader and feel like I finished this task for the first time. Yeah, like you just have to do that for yourself. So I think that's how you can be consistent.
Yeah, actually, bro, learning to code is a very lonely process. But at the end of the at the end of the other side, you will have what you're searching for. You will have the rewards. You will
Right.
have everything that you're looking for. Yes. So it will be an art path, but if you just stick with it for some time, you can make it right. Okay, that's pretty great. That's pretty great, actually. A lot of great insights. I think all these viewers who are watching these, they will have a great idea of everything that you just mentioned: Web3, freelancing, content creation. I think they got a lot of insights about that. And once again, thank you for being a part of this. I would really love to meet you in person when I come to Bangalore. So
Sure.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.